My name's Aaron, back again with a tutorial. This is a song called Nobody's Fool by Shakey Graves, another song in open D. I feel like I'm essentially an open D teacher at this point, but I guess I like a lot of those songs. I appreciate the tuning, appreciate open tunings. I think they're really cool. But I'm going to try to structure this one a little bit better. My past tutorials have been a little fractured and rambly, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. Open D. Your tuning is D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. Open D major chord when you leave everything open and strum it. Awesome tuning. Can't recommend open tunings enough. I will recommend them every time I make one of these tutorials in open D because they're fun and yeah. So there's really not a lot of chords in this song. It's a I don't like to call a song. I've been calling these songs simple. I don't necessarily want to do that because there's some cool stuff happening in this song and other songs that I've done tutorials on. A little bit of outside of scale things, out of key things happening, like this little chromatic walk down. That's cool. You don't hear that a lot in popular music. One of the reasons why I like Shakey Graves is he does a lot of cool, interesting things in his songs. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. The song starts at this chord here. It's just a 4-note chord. You'll use the 4 top strings. The formation that I use to form this chord is your middle finger is going to be on your 4th fret of your D string, your higher one. Your pointer finger is going to be on the 3rd fret of your F sharp string, which is normally tuned to G, but it's tuned to F sharp in this context. You're going to leave your A string open, which is usually your A string that's usually tuned to B, so that's going to be open. And then your high D string, you're going to be on the 4th fret of that with your ring finger. You can use your pinky if you want, if that's more comfortable, but I would recommend trying to keep as many fingers available to you outside of your chord, because then you can do things with that, like your pinky. Because if you use your pinky here, then your ring finger's kind of, it's not going to be able to do much with it. So try to leave that finger open, and maybe you can do some cool, extensions or whatever you want to do. But I think it's always better to keep your chord shapes as tight as they can be, if that makes sense. Kind of don't use unnecessary fingers. It'll help your playing in the future and with this song. But essentially what you're doing is what I'm doing, you can do whatever you want, but kind of arpeggiating that chord up and down. So you'll play all 4 notes from lowest to highest in a row. Then you'll come back up. And kind of do that through the whole thing. And when you're going down, these chords just go down 1/2 step, and it's the same shape. So. So I go 4 3 4. I'm doing 4 3 4. I'll just use that to refer to the chord. 4 3 4. 3 2 3. 1 2 1 or 2 1 2. I'm sorry. 3 2 3. 1 2 2 1 2 2 1 2. Open. Just a little cool walk down to start the song. And it's throughout the song too. Just kind of finger picking at the open strings, and you do this little hammer on thing. You just off. So you're hammering onto your A string. Then you go down to your D string and you hammer on the second fret of your A string. Then you're going to fret the second fret of your D string and pull off of that. And the whole time you're kind of with your thumb, I do this whole thing with my thumb. You're kind of in between your hammer on and your pull off. You're coming up here and you're hitting your low D. So and that's a kind of a cool thing about open tunings. I love the idea of a drone note, which is kind of just a note that doesn't necessarily go through the whole song, but it kind of sits, this like A that you're playing in this little, can kind of be considered a drone note because it's always there. And in open D, I find you can almost use your bass string, this D string here, as like a drone note, especially if you're in the key of D, because it's always sounds good. Not always, but it's just kind of a cool thing. It kind of always sits in the background with that low bass. And just really in that section, I mean, I don't sound a little weird if you added it there. So just in that one section where you're kind of in between the chromatic sections, because that's the verses of the song are those chromatic sections, and then just this open D strumming. And then the next part, you're moving up a fret from where you started on that chromatic section. So you're going to do it the same chord shape, but on the 5th fret. Your middle finger is going to be on the 5th fret. Your middle finger is going to be on the 5th fret of your D string. Your pointer finger is going to be on the 4th fret of your F sharp string, open A still, and then your ring finger is going to be on the 5th fret of your D string. So it's just 1/2 step up from where you started in the beginning. Instead of going down, you'll go down 1/2 step to your first chord, and then skip that 3-2-3 chord and go to the 2-1-2 chord. So you go 1/2 step, whole step, and then open. And I'm just realizing that what I do, and he might do it in this song. I learned this song a while ago, and it's been a while since I've listened to the actual song. Maybe I should listen to songs before I teach them. Kind of slide up back to your original 4-3-4 chord from this 2-1-2 chord. Kind of do that in context. Always some new chaperone, seems you're never alone. And open it up again and do your little hammer on things. And then that's the first part of the verse. So I'll do all that here. First part, the first two lines of the song, and then he does this little. So you're just. So that's the next part. You're hammering on to your first frets of your A strings, which is another cool little chord. Pretty sure we're in D major here, so I don't think that's in key. It's like a cool little deviation from the key we're in, which is always fine and always fun. Excuse me. But yeah, so you're just hammering on the first frets of your A strings and pulling off. back to what would be your, sorry, screen went black, your 2-1-2 chord down here. And sliding up to your 4-3-4 chord. So, always some, whoops, that's not the right part. So let me do that part in context. Or I'll just do that whole, this is the whole verse section. Each verse is played like this. And I guess now that I'm thinking about it, this song is all verses. You could probably pull out like this section as like some kind of chorus, but it's really just 4 distinct verses being played. There's not really a chorus per se. There's probably a section that acts as a chorus, like that section there, but he never repeats any lyrics, so it's not really a traditional chorus. But someone who knows more about arrangement and music theory could probably correct me on that. I'm not totally sure, but I'll just play that whole part because this is really the whole song. There's some minor differences here and there, like the third verse, he or whatever you want to call it, the third verse, he kind of repeats this part. He adds in 2 extra lines of lyrics at the end, and I'll show you that in a second. But here, I'll play this whole thing, then you can contextualize it. Excuse me. And then that's basically the verse. Basically the whole song. He just repeats that. And then there's some little extra things I'm doing, like some slides. Like when you're doing this, when you start this part, you can slide up from the 4th fret, or really from wherever. It's kind of, cool. And then here, on the last iteration of this, I'll slide up to the 3rd fret of the A strings. And then hammering on these chords, so yeah, 2-1-2, 4-3-4, pull off, and then you go into your hammer-on section, and that's really the whole song. I've been trying to think of a way that I can explain finger picking. Someone who's a better teacher. I'm sure there are a million better videos on YouTube. Maybe I'll try to find one and post it that show or that just kind of explain finger picking better. The only piece of advice I can give is just separate your fingers first and then try to add them together. Get your pointer fingers and your middle fingers and your ring finger. If you want to use your ring finger, some people don't even. Some people only use their pointer finger, which is whatever you want to do. You have more than a pointer finger is all I'll say about that. But whatever's comfortable and whatever you enjoy doing. But yeah, the only piece of advice I can give is get used to this, because once you get used to this, it gets a lot easier to get out of it. Once you develop that thumb, just the feeling of your thumb doing this, you can start playing around with different strings. Practice makes perfect, and it's ridiculously cliche, but it's 100% true. Practice slowly, and just kind of use doing something like this might help. Just kind of arpeggiate the bottom 3 strings with your 3 fingers, and then try to add in your thumb. And one thing that I this is all like Travis picking, which is very I'm sure you could get way more intricate than what I'm doing, but the Travis picking is it's very rhythmic in that your pointer, your three fingers that you're using to get your high strings are usually kind of pinching at the strings, you know. So if you can get used to your fingers coming together like that, that might actually be a good exercise too. Just kind of do this across strings, like it doesn't matter. Maybe try to get used to like an alternating bass pattern, and just try to get used to your fingers pinching together. You know, do something like that. But yeah, just use your hand. Get used to using your hand and your fingers to play, and I think just do it slowly, practice slowly, and you'll get it. So the only verse that's even has any slight variation to the other ones in this song is the chosen by God verse.
At the clouds, you know the answer, so scream it out loud. Never asleep on the job.
So this part you'll kind of repeat this, and you can just keep doing this. One thing that I do is I kind of do like a slide. I'll do like a slide up to the 4-3-4 chord from this 2-1-2 chord. It's kind of like never asleep on the job. Then I'll kind of do that chromatic thing he does in the beginning. I'll hit this twice, kind of all at once, using the pinching motion. Use your two fingers to hit the bottom two strings, and then your thumb to hit your bass string, and you can kind of play around with it. Although that sounds a little weird. Like the way the top two strings sound better. Maybe you like the way adding that F sharp sound. I kind of like, but you know, play around with it. But
never asleep on the job. Never no useless old slug. Never forget what you're not. You've been chosen by God.
Just to kind of add, kind of fill the space of that, because if you just did.
Never asleep on the job. Never no useless old slob.
You know, it just gets a little repetitive, I guess. And maybe that's what you like. Play what you like. But that was just a little tidbit as to something that I do in the song. It's a sweet, very cool song. Love the lyrics. Love the song. That's one of the few songs I actually enjoy singing. It's not a super difficult song to sing. You can make it difficult, I'm sure, if you're a better singer than I am. But I'll go ahead and I'll do it real quick, and you can kind of contextualize what I've said with what I'm doing. Full run of the thing before you go into the verses, and then the verses.
top of the pile. Enjoy the view, hell, stay for a while. It's hard to get by on your own, seems you're never alone. Light, love, and regret. Oh, each drink and each cigarette leads to life of regret. So go out, make your amends, plant you a garden, hell, get you some friends. Trouble's still just what you get in this life of regret. Chosen by God. Oh, whether you like it or not, you've been chosen by God. So stand there and curse at the clouds. You know the answer, so scream it out loud. Never asleep on the job. Never no useless soul slop. Never forget what you're not. You've been chosen by God. But you're nobody's fool. That's the one thing they don't teach in school. You ain't nobody's fool. Don't worry, you'll turn out fine. Better off dead than waiting in line. Stick to that golden old rule. You ain't nobody's fool.
Twelfth fret harmonic. Always awesome to have a 12th fret harmonic in open D, and I mean, if you're ending on your open D chord, your 12th fret harmonic always sounds good because it's essentially the same thing as an open D chord, just in a really weird high whatever harmonics do, you know. But yeah, that's the whole song. Messed up a little bit at the end, but I'm sure you can, you know, get past that. The whole song is just a repeat of that one part. So simple in that way, but also intricate in others. Cool, fun song. Love it. Love Shakey Graves. I'm sure I'll teach more of his songs because I learned a lot of them. He's kind of one of the first people I ever learned on guitar. I learned a lot of his songs, and that's where I got my fingerpicking and my love of open tunings. So, yeah, he's a great artist. Love him. Can't really think of anything else to say about the song. Hope that was a little bit more structured, a little bit easier to follow. Maybe not, but you know, learning as I go. I'm not a teacher, barely a guitar player, so you know, just something I'm doing for fun. Hope it helps though. If not, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Yeah, but I appreciate you watching. Yeah, have a good one. Bye.